Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Fantasy Football League podcast. I'm your host, the Imperial God, and I want you to do a couple things for me before we get into tonight's episode. Like, subscribe, and enjoy. Thank you, everybody. Hey, what's up, my people? It's your boy, the Imperial God, and I'm back. Yes, I am, with another one. How y'all doing tonight? Go ahead and like and subscribe for me. And enjoy. That's why you came here, right? Why I kick this fantasy knowledge in your ear? It's your boy, the Imperial Gods. Know what I mean? Thank you for coming out tonight. We got a new show for you. Today, we're going to be talking about mock drafting and drafting in general. Why? Why are we talking about mock drafting? Because it is fantasy football league drafting week. People are drafting right now. Idiots are drafting right now. And we're going to keep it real. Idiots have already drafted. They even dumber. Best time to draft is on Sunday, right before the first game. We know all the injuries. We know all the cuts. We know, they don't release the full injury report, but we do learn if somebody gets a major injury. I think with some news that came out today, T. Higgins hobbled off the field. That's a major injury. If you drafted him, you're sick right now. Sick to your stomach. He's a high draft pick. Wasted receiver. That's your WR at minimum. Gone. I mean, I don't know how long. Week 1 is right around the corner, but this man always gets hurt. So if you drafted him right now, you are sick. Anyway, let's get back to mock drafting and why we mock draft. I mock draft so that I'm prepared. Preparation is key, people. More than fantasy, you gotta mock draft. If you don't, you probably don't win much. If you do, then you're ready. You at least make the playoffs. I got a certain way I like to go about mock drafting. It's a little different than everybody else's, but I've been doing it for a long time now, over 10 years. And I stick to this format because it's brought me success. It also helps me put my mind together and wrap my mind around what I need to accomplish in this draft. I mean, while drafting, you have all the information in front of you, but you got to know what you're going to do. So first 6 rounds, very crucial for me. Very crucial. The Imperial looks at those rounds as I got to hit on 4 to 6 people that I pick in the first 6 rounds. The 6th round being the person that you pick for your first sleeper. I'm reaching 2 to 3 rounds to get this person, people. I got to have that 6th round sleeper. I believe that guy is a potential banger. And what I mean by banger is they can get you 40. They liable get you 40. Anybody that liable get you 40, you need that person as a banger. We have a lot of consistent people in fantasy football, but there's only so many bangers. Definition of a banger, somebody that can get you 40. On any given night, they got to be able to put the ball up like Kobe. They got to be able to get you 40. That's a banger. A banger is going to come with high prices on the trade market. My suggestion to all you folks is to pick a banger in the 6th round that nobody's looking for. They might be looking for him, but the 6th round, 6 through 9, is a crapshoot. And I'm going to tell you why. All those people, all those players, round 6 through 9, are pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same, depending on what you draft. Everybody has different value based off how you draft. It's not based off the draft. It's not based off what ESPN shows you. It's not based off what Yahoo Fantasy shows you and their ADP. And when I say ADP, if you don't know, that's average draft position. What is your average draft position? None of that matters. It's on how you draft. Because if you take 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds, you're more than likely going to favor another position in the 3rd round. Meaning who they got for you at the top might be a running back for you to pick, but you can't pick that based off how you chose to build your team during the draft. The way I choose to build my team during the draft is simple. I'm going to tell you this. It's simple. For the first 6 rounds, I am writing down 3 people in each round. 3. And I adjust as needed based off how I draft. So the first 6 rounds, I'm going to write down 3 people. I have my top pick, my 2nd pick, and my 3rd pick. 1, 2, 3. If that person is not there, I'm taking the next person. And if that person is not there, I'm taking the next person. And if that person is not there, then they left me with somebody that I didn't think I would get. And then that case, I adjust. So somebody fell to me that I have to take. I have no choice but to. I replace that person with the position that I have written down on my list. Now, I like to do 3 different players, but round 1 through 6 should have the same amount of running backs and wide receivers available to you in those picks. Meaning, when you leave out round 1 through 6, you should have 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs at minimum. Now, depending on how you want to draft and how you want to build your team, 1 quarterback can be added to that and 1 tight end. That gives you 6 people in your first 6 picks. Number 6 being your sleeper, where you are reaching anywhere 6 through 9 to get that person who you think is going to be a banger. He's still there. I promise you he's there. He's there every single year. He is right there waiting to be picked by the lucky person. Who is that person? Man, that's 30 people in 3 rounds. You have 30 people sitting right there waiting for you that you have to pick. How good are you? Will you be able to do it? That's the question. Those are the only questions when it comes to fantasy football. You have to make a guess, a guesstimate. You got to put your little fantasy hat on, and you become a professor, and you gotta make you feel like you know all the answers, and you gotta get lucky. You don't know, but this is my advice to you on fantasy football on how you should operate. So let's recap about this draft. Why do we mock draft? We mock draft to be prepared. Yeah, when you fail to prepare to fail. That holds true in fantasy football, like nothing else. So prepare. Round 1 through 6, we got to make sure we're picking our top 3 on each one and adjust as you need to fill out your roster. Fill out your roster. Make sure that you have depth at every position. Rounds 9 through 12. This is where you win the league. This is where you earn your money. This is where you show your ability to be elite. You find those people that fill out your team, for one. Remember, depth is number uno. Running back depth can't be stressed enough in fantasy football. You'll be looking for a running back. I mean, these guys are getting banged up, week by week. We don't know who's starting this week. We don't know who's starting that week. So I stress running back depth. I stress that you make sure you're doing everything to know the running backs that you're getting, and know the wide receivers you're getting. In 9 through 12, you're looking at RB2s right now. You're looking at wide receiver 3s who have a crazy upside. You're looking at maybe, just trying to get people who are on teams that matter, teams that matter. You can't go grab a wide receiver who plays for the Jets. They show no history of scoring a lot of points. I like to grab all players from offenses that I believe in. And I also like to grab players who are youthful. I think people, when you're looking at the running back situation, 3 years ago, the landscape's changed already. We don't even realize, we don't know who the running backs are from you can't even recognize. Those guys are gone. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, those guys are retired. All of them. The running backs come and go so quick in this world of fantasy football. Only a couple stay around, especially the top guys that are relevant to fantasy football. This is a young man's game. Running back is a young man's position. If you don't grab one of the top running backs in the league, you have to go find a bunch of okay ones when you draft. When you mock draft, you can check that out. You go after the best running back you could possibly get in round 1 or round 2, or you don't. You go after 2 wide receivers. Now you need running back depth. You're on with tier 2 type running backs, tier 3 type running backs who only provide you with a glimmer of a hope to do a great game. You're going to, like I said, those bangers, those 40-pointers, there's only going to be 3 or 4 of those in the league. So what I'm telling you is you don't get those guys. You go after the receivers. Now you got to come up with a lot of depth at running back. You got to get 3 to 4 running backs that are mid, that are good to mid, that you could potentially trade for a banger. For the guy who went and got all the running backs in your draft, you're going to have to trade with him. That's real. Running back depth it can't be said enough. It's something that needs to happen in order for you to have a successful venture when you're in fantasy football. I believe in running back depth as being a cornerstone of a team because one of yours will go out. He will go out. And if he doesn't, kudos to you. But these guys get hurt, and I'm ready for it. How many people on your bench can you start? I mean, I know you love your team prior to the week one. After week one, that reality sets in, and you realize, hey, this ain't as good as I thought it was. These guys suck because last year is not this year, and you're wishing you would have picked up the guy that's doing great right now. You didn't. You didn't. So it's all a crapshoot, but you still have to be prepared for this crapshoot. You still got to know your stuff because your guess has got to be better than his guess. And if you don't get the first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth, it does not matter. You can win a championship from any pick in fantasy. You can win a championship from any pick in fantasy, 1 through 10. There are strengths at every single draft position. Picking up later in the draft, in the rounds, you potentially get two first-round picks. Early, you get who you want. You're guaranteed one of those bangers. Guaranteed one of those bangers. Guaranteed. And that's what you want. But there's nothing like discovering a banger. When you discover one and he's now on your team and you drafted him, you feel like a genius. You feel like a genius of geniuses. That's what you feel like. If you draft that guy and he's your man, there's nothing like it. You guys got to get in tune to drafting. You do. And the way you get in tune is by mocking, having a strategy. I'm ready. Our draft is next Sunday. We're going to have it at Team Doughboy's house. It's going to be amazing. Lots of food, lots of fun. I hear he's got a great setup. I'm going to bring the podcast out there. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to you guys coming out and being a part of it. We here at More Than Fantasy, we ready to become enemies. Right now, it's been too long. We've been friends for way too long. We'll be friends all the way to the draft start. Once the draft is over, then we become enemies. And if you're not enemies with everybody in fantasy football, you're cheating yourself. Those guys want to win. They want you to lose. And before every game, I text the league. I say, hey, I hope everybody's players do horrible except for mine. I hope they all get hurt, and I hope you all lose, but you can't because you're kind of playing each other. But if you do play each other, none of you score a lot of points. But my team. Hate, 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 hate. And I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I hope your team loses. I hope your team, everybody breaks their ankles. I got a saying in my league, as soon as somebody gets hurt, I say, I feel bad for them. But that makes everybody so mad when I say that. That's my saying. As soon as they say, I feel bad. I say it from the bottom of my heart. I feel bad for them. I'm trolling, of course. You know that. Especially if it's not my player, and they know it's coming, and they'll spit it back at me if something happens to one of my players, and they'll be like, damn, I feel bad for him. But it's so much more funnier when I do it to me because it's my saying, and I'm being facetious, and it's hilarious to me. But because I don't feel bad for him, because he's not on my team. Now, people can get hurt in effect. Like, if my quarterback loses his main receiver, I'm pissed off. Now I don't feel bad for him. I feel bad for me. Let's keep it 100 there. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel bad for me then. But I do say that when I'm pissed off. Well, no, to piss everybody off when one of the players gets hurt. Because I feel bad for him, When, honestly, I give two shits. And that's the kind of fantasy heart that I have. I give two shits about your team. I give two shits about your success. I want to win. I only want me to win, and I don't want you to win. And I can't wait to destroy you. I can't. Now, fantasy goes up and down. There's a spiral of emotions, so much drama, and we're going to hate each other, and we're going to talk smack, and we're going to do this thing called More Than Fantasy that we're going to bring live to you as we go along. But these are my tips when it comes to mock drafting. I've been doing this game this long, and I came up with this, this is my style. I make sure I'm writing down who I want. I make sure and I got the people I want in my queue, and I'm turning down all music if I'm in a room with people who I draft with, so they don't know if they're sniping me. I love sniping somebody when they look up and say, who did this? We all in the same room. Because we'll draft from our computers, and they'll be looking for somebody. Somebody took this guy. It was me. I took him because I knew when you wanted to take him. Know your ops. Know your ops. All day, every day, know your ops. I know my ops. I'm next to T-Dot in game Cop and Blow. That's going to be a heck of a draft, you know. I've been playing with these guys both enough to know exactly who they want, how they play. I'm ready to snipe a couple of them because, I mean, honestly, T-Dot is the person I'm probably going to snipe the most. And I want him second guess. If you are waiting to the end and hearing the final ticks before you take a player in fantasy, you get about 2 minutes per round. I mean, per pick. You shouldn't take that long. Then you weren't prepared. You weren't prepared. More than fantasy, if you come and you wait until the last second, I've done that before. Waited to the last second, only to piss people off. I mean, we got 18 rounds. You want people to get like antsy. You want them to get up. You want them to get off the game. You want them to forget what they're doing. You want them to not pick the person they thought about. And this thing comes at you fast. You think you got the people you wanted, and then you forget, oh, man, I was supposed to get this guy. Oh, man, I wanted that guy. If you got the right person next to you in your draft and he's doing a mental gymnastic on you that's making your brain flip because he's taking people you want back and forth, or he's and you're scared what he's gonna do. I mean, it gets like that tense inside the draft room. It gets like that. It gets real. And you gotta respect it, but at the same time, you gotta prepare for it. Drafting is an art. It's an art. It's ready for you to have fun. You know, if you're gonna go in there with a bunch of people, make sure you don't drink enough. You don't drink too much so you know what you're doing. Don't overdrink at your drafts, folks. You know, a lot of people go in there, get toe up, drunk, messed up now. They done forgot. They think, you know, they're doing good. They're not doing good. You're drunk. Don't go into a draft drunk. Don't do it. You're not ready. You're not in the right mind. Because you're going to make drunk moves. Don't do it. Imperial says no. Stick to what you know and be certain at what you want to pick. Have your options ready each round. Don't talk between rounds. Let other people talk. You don't talk. Be quiet and keep your mind on the game, on the prize. Let everybody else talk if they're talking. You be quiet. You keep your mind on the prize. Get who you want. Take it dead serious. Because if it comes to fruition that you have the people that you think you have, you feel like a genius. Ain't nothing better than feeling like a genius in fantasy football. There's nothing better than knowing you got that guy and you felt like you discovered him and he's on your team. We're going 18 rounds deep, people. 18 rounds. 18 rounds is a long battle in Modern Fantasy. I think this year I'm out to make everybody mad by waiting to the last second to make my pick. Every single time. Purposeful. Because I get all that time, I'm gonna use it. 18 rounds. Now, we got a quarterback, a running back, another running back, a wide receiver, tight end flex position, a tight end by itself position, a flex position, which could be your wide receiver, tight end, or running back, a defensive player position, which could be anybody on the defense, defensive special teams, and kicker. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 starters and 9 bench folks. You have 10 starters and 9 bench folks, or 8 bench folks, my bad. 18 rounds. 10 starters and 8, or the 9th player will be your IR. Crazy. 2 minutes to draft, Modern Fantasy. Each round, each pick, I'm putting my queue up. I'm writing down who I want. Go look at those 3. See if you got a chance at them. Don't be delusional. You can't be people. You can't take people projected to go top 10 and put all 3 of those in your first 6 rounds as you go around. No, it doesn't work like that. You got to find people who are projected around that time and then put them in. And this has to be based off what your importance of the way you fill out your team. But it helps you get in the groove. This technique helps you get in the groove. It helps you get where you want to be in fantasy and put the people that you see best fit to fill out a team. Only points matter. Only points. Remember what I'm saying to you right now. Only points matter. That means you got to figure out how many points they are projected to get in your mind each round. Each game. You need high scoring folks. You don't just need a starter. You need people who get targets. You need guys who get carries. You need teams who score points, who get it in the end zone, not kick field goals. You need red zone targets. Is this guy a red zone target? Does he get multiple points? Does he have one big game here and disappear for 3 games? How does he play? Only points matter. Fill out a team to get points. The highest amount of points you could possibly get. I have 9 people, well, 10 people I have to put in. 10 people. I want to get 10 people with the highest margin of points that I need each week. I suggest you do the same. I'll tell you right now, and I don't have any advice to you to tell you how you should go about building your team, what type of team you should have. You know, I believe each type of team can win if you got the guys with the right amount of points. If you want your bangers to be wide receiver with your first 2 rounds, you can win a championship that way. Don't let people tell you can't. If you want to go double running back, you can win it that way too. Don't let nobody tell you can't. There's so many different ways to win in fantasy. It's just about putting the money together, putting the numbers together. You put those numbers together and you can compile a good team. Only the points matter. Figure out where those points lie, within which players. Like I said from the beginning, you cannot miss on both of your first 2 draft picks. You can't. You have to hit on one of them at minimum. Bad drafting can lead to crazy ramifications. And depending on how good of a fantasy football player you are, you see the future. You know when to blow up your draft. You know that this draft was not everything it should have been. You didn't do as good as you wanted to do, and you didn't get the people that are going to make an impact, and you go ahead and you try to trade them as soon as possible. You can do that. Some people just hold on and hoard and go down on the plane, you know. But if you draft well and you come and you get a good head start in fantasy football, and you go 4-0, that puts you in a place where you feel good about making the playoffs. Everybody want to make the playoffs to get a shot at this thing. That's what it's about. That's what it's all about. And like I'm always tell you, man, if you ain't prepared for this thing all the way, you're going to prepare to fail. You're going to prepare to fail. Well, everybody, you enjoy what you heard about mock drafting today, go ahead and drop a comment below, like, and subscribe. I'm your host, the Imperial Gods, and this is More Than Fantasy. Signing out. Peace.